But
Yep.
yeah, we did have Champions League over the weekend, right? That concluded. Definitely a very interesting tournament from Tord being over there and competing and making top cut to the winning deck. And I think that's where we could probably start. For Alligator, which is a deck that we talked about last week. And I don't know if I got justifiably called out here. I saw some stuff in the comments on, or maybe it was on Twitter, but people were like, Azul said Feraligatr was bad, so I knew immediately to go buy some. I'm pretty sure I was talking about like these are two different formats. I think I was talking about. I said it was probably bad in the current format. They're playing it in a
No,
different format with
no, dude.
rotation.
We were
Did I say
talking
for
about it
Champions League?
from we talked about it during City League Watch.
Oh, did we? All right,
Yes.
maybe I was justifiably called out then. I actually don't remember what format I was talking about.
It was City League
Um,
Watch. Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, actually watching the deck on stream, I'd never really seen the deck play out too much. The deck's kind of crazy to be honest. It's pretty cool. I will say that the deck's pretty cool, and pretty masterfully piloted by I don't quite know how to pronounce the name. If you want to take a stab at it, Chip, go for it.
Nope. Hiromu
Romu, who this
Sasaki.
is, yeah, this is not his first high placement. Also was part of the Elite Four. Not currently part of the Elite Four, but I think was part of the Elite Four last season. You see Japan Championships 2022, got second place.
Yep.
Um, so he's been around and he's been doing well and now getting a dub with the Feraligatr deck, which is a pretty crazy deck.
Yeah, so for those who don't exactly know how this works, it is all kind of based around the Feraligator's ability torrential heart. Once during your turn, you may put 5 damage counters on this Pokemon. If you do, during this turn, attacks used by this Pokemon do 120 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon.
Mm.
And there's a couple of things you can do with this. You can use the giant wave attack that the Feraligatr itself has to do 280 damage, which is a ton of damage. It'll pick up one hit KOs on a lot of different things. But one of the main uses for it, it seems, is to use Croconaws' reverse thrust attack. Switch this Pokemon with one of your benched Pokemon through the ability of the Relicanth Memory Dive. So basically, what you do is you Torrential Heart, put a bunch of damage counters on the Feraligatr. It's going to do more damage with reverse thrust now. You're going to hit and run for 150 damage. You're going to move into either Melodic EX or Mimikyu, depending on what the matchup is. And then you also have Monkey Dory, Adrenabrain, to move the damage counters off the Feraligatr to boost your damage even more. So you've got this one prize Pokemon that's doing a ton of damage. You're running every single turn into a wall that your opponent, depending on the matchup, is going to have a hard time getting through. And you get early game setup through Badoo. You've got it's a Precious Trolley deck, Technical Machine Evolution, and Arvin. Yeah, I mean it is a crazy deck, and
Gotta mention the before you go to Machotra, gotta mention the Totodile with that big bite. 10 damage, and the opponent's active can't retreat. This is also like we saw this come up in some of the Feraligatr games on stream where you can just play it like a lock deck, where you trap something in the active. You do need 2 Feraligatr setup, because if you use the active Feraligatr's ability, Big Bite is doing 130 damage, which probably KOs or is doing too much damage to KO. But if you're active Feraligatr, you're just doing 10 damage with it. Then your bench for alligator, you're using the bench for alligator's ability to then move the damage off your bench for alligator to their side of the field while you trap their active. That's like another like very solid win condition in multiple matchups. It seems like it's just like a, yeah, like across the board. Like the deck has so many options, to be honest. And I love how it's like built. Like the deck never plans to draw prize cards basically until the end of the game. You just play counter catchers. You don't even play boss to have like an aggressive way to close out the game. The threat of Iono against you isn't very high because you're not drawing prize cards super aggressively. Like the way I saw Feraligatr games play out is you're just setting up the board to like basically draw like these big 6 prize turns, or deal with Duskulls. I feel that it's like that's the only time I saw the deck like always trying to go after prize cards is when there was Duskulls in play, pressuring the Duskulls. But besides that, you can do some really crazy stuff with this deck. It's really cool to watch it play out at the Japan Championships. And then yeah, the Waller options, the melodic, I would say the melodic honestly was kind of like a MVP of the tournament, not just this deck. Malak did was super popular, or super successful, I should say.
yeah, its ability Sparkling Crystals prevent all damage from and effects of attacks from your opponent's Terra Pokemon done to this Pokemon.